Hello everyone, welcome to the season finale of Cooking with Chef Aaron. To wrap up the season, we'll be setting foot in Western Europe as we explore the country of Italy. Now, this country was kindly requested to me by Aurelia Pshyk. As always, thank you for your request. I'd like to give a big shout out to you, and I hope to receive more requests from other people in the new year. Okay, so to start off this review, I'm going to talk about the largest and capital city, which is Rome. Now, this is a pretty interesting city because it looks very similar to what you would see in Malta because, as you can see, there's a lot of old ancient architecture, the only difference being that it's more colorful. And the Colosseum here is very interesting because it has an old ancient feel. It has very cool design to it, even though it kind of looks broken. I still like it a lot. And I really like all the statues here in the main square because they have an ancient feel as well, and they look pretty awesome. And there's a lot of colorful architecture as well. So now I'm going to talk about the second largest city in Italy, which is Milan. And this is a pretty interesting city as well because this city is known for having a lot of pointy architecture. As you can see here, this pointy building kind of looks like a cathedral and a castle. It's kind of like a combination of a cathedral and a castle. And as for the other buildings, the other architecture, it's also very pointy as well. They're like long, skinny twigs that you see on trees, kind of. They're like the trunks of the trees, only they're white and they're pointy and all futuristic. It's pretty cool. Okay, so now I'm going to shift my attention over to the city of Naples, and this city isn't too fascinating in my opinion because while it does consist of colorful architecture, it's not really out there. It doesn't really stand out. It's not really all that elegant. And that's really all there is to say about it. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the capital city of Sicily, which is considered a part of Italy, and that city is Palermo. And this city is interesting in its own way because Sicily is closer to Africa, and as you can see by the vegetation, we're kind of transitioning into the country of Libya. And this is pretty interesting because the palm trees kind of had that sort of African feel, like kind of what you would see in like Eritrea or kind of like what you would see in Egypt. It's kind of cool like that, and the architecture actually kind of reminds me a little bit of Eritrea, Egypt, and Libya as well. It's very elegant, it's very ancient, and it looks very sandy, it's starting to look very sandy. And it's just a very interesting little island, Sicily. Okay, so to wrap up this review, I'm going to talk about the rural parts of Italy now. And for the most part, there's a lot of nice green fields, like sort of like farmlands, I guess you could say. And it looks very similar to what you would find in Canada and the US. The vegetation is very green. And as for the other rural parts, there's a lot of mountainous regions which look similar to what you would find in Tajikistan because the mountains are very colorful, kind of like what you would see there, unlike the mountains in Kyrgyzstan, which aren't really as colorful, but still good. And I just really like all the mountains that they have in Italy, as well as all the nice lush green fields. They look pretty interesting. They're very good. Okay, so overall, I would say that I'd probably have to give the country of Italy a B+. Okay, now let's head down to my kitchen, and I'll show you how to make the cream and mushroom chicken. Follow me, please. Okay, so in order to make the cream and mushroom chicken, the ingredients you will need are as follows. We have over here some oil. We have 4 chicken breasts that have been cut up to pieces. And we have some salt and pepper for seasoning. We have 4 cloves of garlic, and in the bowl in the back we have 1 teaspoon of thyme and 1 teaspoon of basil. And we have 1 onion that's been chopped, and 4 stalks of celery that have been chopped. And we have some mushrooms that have been cut up. And we're going to be using half a cup of water. We're going to be using some cream, some Parmesan cheese, and some fresh basil leaves. Okay, so to start off your recipe, what we're going to do is we're going to pour in some oil, just a little bit, like that. I'm just going to spread it all around like that, so it's evenly coated on the pan. And now I'm going to add my chicken, like this. Make sure it all gets in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to brown this on both sides. And then we just wait for it to cook. And I'm just going to season it with a little salt and pepper. Here's my pepper. So once your chicken has been browned and seasoned on both sides, what you want to do now is you want to take your thyme and basil and you just want to pour it in here. And you also want to add your 4 cloves of garlic. We're also going to add our onions and our celery. We're just going to mix well. And afterwards, we'll move on to the next step and we'll let this all cook for 4 minutes. So after you've let your veggies brown for a couple of minutes, what you want to do now is you want to take your mushrooms, you want to pour them in, roll in like this. And you also want to add your water. And we're just going to cook for an additional 5 to 6 minutes. Okay, so now once you've let your mushrooms brown, what we want to do now is you want to take this cream and you just want to pour it all in, all over the chicken so it gets a decent amount all over. So just like this. And doesn't this all look very appetizing? Okay, so now after you've let your cream boil for a while, what you want to do is you want to take this entire thing of Parmesan cheese and you just want to pour it all into here. Make sure it's evenly coated. And what you want to do now is you just want to mix it all in. So I've got my spatula right here, and I'm just going to sort of mix it all in, just so it's all evenly coated. And afterwards we'll add our basil leaves. Okay, so now we're going to move on to our last step, which is adding the basil leaves. So I'm just going to pour them all in right here. And I'm just going to mix them all around. And we just keep cooking them until they sort of wilt a bit. Okay, so now after your basil leaves have wilted, the finished product should look something like this. I'm going to do a taste test and I'll tell you what I think of it. Okay, let's see what I think of this. This is really good. It tastes very cheesy. You can taste the cream very well. It tastes very good. Okay, so here's our finished product served on our plate, served with some brown rice and some bean salad. Thank you for watching.